Hello and welcome to Conversation with Mrs. Pham. I'm grateful that you're here with me today. Today, we're going to be talking about the warning signs to look out for when social media may be impacting on our health. Yes, this is relatable to me on so many levels, and I hope it is to you as well. I'm just wondering if you've ever thought so, at any point in time. So, is social media doing more harm than good in my life, in your life right now? And if you've ever wondered that, then you are not alone. So, let's look at the warning signs. This conversation came top of my mind, and I wanted to put it this out as, one of the first episode, on my podcast this year, 2025, when TikTok allegedly went offline for one night this year. Oh my gosh, and don't quote me. This was outrageous, an outcry of anxiety, of people literally crying because they didn't have TikTok, People felt lost, saying, what do I do without TikTok? I don't have TikTok to go on to. And this sense of who am I without social media came up, which for me as a social worker, I took this as some major red flags. And I thought we needed to talk about it. My friend, if this is you, we can do better. Okay, there are some good things to social media, and I'm not going to discount that. So I began to look into the research around social media's impact on our mental health and self-esteem for a number of different reasons. And I looked around 2024, 2025, the year that we're into now. I'm really diving into this research because of how it impacts on us in so many sneaky levels. And, we don't even know about it. But after this episode, I'm hoping that you're going to be a little bit more keen to how social media might be, impacting on your relationship, your overall mental health and self-esteem, as well. So, dear all, let me tell you the impact. They are real. This is affecting generations of us. So let's opt into the warning signs and then listen to the end. Make sure you listen to the end. Because after all of these warning signs and tips I'm going to be sharing today, you'll be able to help yourself manage these things. Or if you work with clients, you will be able to, support them. They might even come up with their own way of helping themselves once you discuss these solutions with them. Firstly, we're going to be talking about the behavioral warning signs. So what kind of behaviors or behavior are you exhibiting that might be a problem, that you don't even see, but it is a problem, or that you know and you're ignoring to admit, or you don't want to admit it? Firstly, I want to mention that this is not a mental health disorder diagnosis yet, but I would bet my money that this is coming. I say it is coming because this symptom of psychological disorder causes significant distress in people's lives. You can see how it's causing distress in people's lives. And when we are using social media to the point that it's causing significant distress, either behavioral to our health, to our mental health, to our relationships, to our ability to function in schools, at work, in the community, within family, it may be holding us back from accomplishing our dreams, from establishing our own sense, then yes, I would say that's definitely significant distress in your life. So let's look at some of some behavioral issues that might be that signifies that you're having an unhealthy relationship with social media. I say this because everybody is different. I don't know what you're using it for. I don't know your specific situation, but I want to give you the information for you to consider. Consider, is this a big problem? Are there changes that needed to be made? Number one, spending excessive time online, even when it interferes with your sleep, with your relationship with people, with work, with families, with things that you need to improve on. Maybe you're avoiding offline activities such as skipping physical social events, not exercising because you would rather be scrolling, or maybe you're not even calling people or picking up calls, replying to messages from people that are close to you, even colleagues and, neighbors. You're always saying, what's the benefit of calling, replying to messages or visiting them in person when you can just say happy birthday on their birthday photo, Social media might also be causing you to neglect some of your hobbies. You had hobbies. You had things that, you loved before doing. So is social media making you feel anxious, irritable if you're not getting on it? Is it causing you anxiety if you don't have access to it? It's one thing, nomophobia. Short word for no mobile phone phobia. It's that type of anxiety disorder that can cause a person to feel stressed or anxious when they don't have their phone or can't connect to mobile data. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Nomophobia. Listen, guys, it's new. We all need to look it up, So if you are experiencing nomophobia, just beware. So take, for example, if you're scrolling late with your phone, your iPad, whatever method you're using, into the night, or, when you're supposed to be sleeping, I know you're tired and you say, oh, I just want to see what's going on TikTok, on Instagram. And you find yourself scrolling for an hour, 2 hours, maybe more, to the point that you're using social media instead of getting the sleep that your body and your mind and body needs. That is going to take its toll on your well-being over time, especially, you will not be able to develop. Okay, let's talk about kids now. Teenagers, young adults in college, doing apprenticeship in uni. The impact this will have on them is extreme, on their emotional, their mental, from lack of sleep. Let's look at behavioral science now. No, we talked about behavioral science. Let's look at emotional warning now. Who are you when social media goes off? We say that it helps people maintain social relationships. Correct. Tick. And at the same time, I want to question, is it a quality relationship? Do you feel heard, seen, validated? Are you looking for validation? And are you able to share your real emotions with these people? Be honest. Are you? Probably not. Because a lot of times, what we consider to be our social relationships on social media, to be honest, are kind of shallow. Yeah, honestly, yeah. I said it. They're shallow. Because everyone who I am talking to on social media, if they message me, well, most people, it's like what they would want to hear. It's like, oh, you look great. I love your hair. I love your shoes. Your dress is so nice. Your hair is so nice. It's shallow. It's not real, in-depth conversations. You don't know what's going on. You don't actually know what's going on in my life behind social media, do you? So, well, yes, we can maintain social relationships. I mean, that's fine. That's great. And a lot of the time, we're happy doing that. But at the same time, people get bullied every time on these platforms. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, okay, because we are prioritizing what's on our phone versus real life situation, real life engagement. You know what? This happens to the kids too. When my sons were much younger and would ask, Mom, can my friend come over and play video games? Honestly, I'm going to be honest here. I would usually say no. And I do not feel guilty about it. Because when I say yes, all they do is watch, they stay glued to the screen. To either get some food to eat or either, they press the need to use the bathroom, they don't. They find it hard. They're not engaging. They're not socializing. They're not communicating. Maybe they are. They may be laughing, but they're not learning how to solve problems. They're not creating new things. They're not active enough. So when our children are constantly glued to the screens, they lose that ability and that skill of being able to learn how to communicate, how to read, They're just non-verbal languages, how to assert themselves in a healthy way. All of these little things that kids are losing now when they are behind the screens are making them lose out on real life connections. They are losing now. They're glued in their rooms all day doing what? According to World Health Organization, report released September last year, that's 2024, it says more than 1 in 10 adolescents, that's 11%, showed signs of problematic social media behavior, struggling to control their use and experiencing negative consequences. Girls are reported they are reported with higher levels of problematic social media use than boys. That's 13% versus 9%. With the highest rate among 15-year-old girls, and that's 44%. A third, which is 34% of adolescents, played digital games daily, with more than 1 in 5, which is 22%, playing for at least 4 hours on days when they engage in gaming. 12% of adolescents are at risk of problematic gaming, with boys more likely than girls to show signs of problematic gaming. 16% versus 7%. As an adult, if you're growing up with social media, which most people are, or using it so much that you have lost your sense of self, you don't even know who you are without considering, your phone. What are other people going to think about you? What are people going to say about you? What should you do to make you popular? What should you people do to like? What should you do to make people like you? My friend, that's not establishing your sense of self. So ask yourself rather, what are your values? Who are you as a person? Are you a people pleaser on social media? Yes, we can take the benefits into consideration, but it's also important to know, what do you do? What do you want to become? What do you do as an individual? Lastly, why don't you consider what this addiction is taking on your health, your sleepless nights, which may lead to headaches, eye strain, shoulder pain, lack of engagement with other people, family breakdown. There's a whole lot of red flags to look out for, So is social media use what I actually want to do every minute of the day? How can we help each other? Have open communication with people. Be non-judgmental. Encourage your friends, families, to go out more. And don't forget, if you are still watching this up to this moment, don't forget to share. Share this page. Set boundaries for yourself. Do social media detox. Social media detox. You need to do it. I'm telling you. You need to be away from your phone sometimes. Take a break. Take a freaking break from your phone. You can do it. Thank you. And don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share on Conversation with Mrs. Pham. Bye for now, and God bless.